Hello guys, very good morning. Welcome back and let's start.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Ishu. Any another people that are about to join? So let us wait for 2 more minutes and we'll start the session. Vignesh, did you attended the last session? Which means the yesterday session. Vignesh Ravi? Okay. Hi Abhishek, how are you?
Hi, Chaitanya. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Okay, let's start the session now. So let's see if there is anybody who are attending to the session. We'll continue with them. So yes, I did not attend it, so I'm unable to unmute. Okay, that's fine. So now, in the last session, we discussed about what is meant by cloud computing, why we want the cloud computing, and then we discussed about the topics related to the AWS, why we need to go for the AWS. Okay. Anyways, in this session, we are going to discuss about the AWS regions. Okay, so AWS global infrastructure. I'm just going to take a very small class. Okay, global infra. And this is the last and final demo. Infrastructure. So what we are going to discuss here is, so now if you see, AWS is not a single entity. AWS is not a single entity in the sense it's not a single building, right? So if you are seeing AWS here, when we are talking about the AWS is worldwide. So whatever the AWS is available, that is not in a single location or else in a single office. Okay. So first of all, let us see what is the history. AWS was first introduced in the year 2006. It is just for their Amazon products. Okay. To provide the services for the Amazon products. And who is the owner of this particular company? Who is the owner? Who is the owner of Amazon? Come on, guys.
Jeff.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Jeff. What is Jeff? Jeff Bezos. Okay. He is the owner of the particular AWS company or also Amazon, the entire Amazon. So see here, what you need to understand here is Amazon into different fields. Amazon is into the digital field. Amazon is into the e-commerce field, and as well as Amazon into the global infrastructure. I mean, it is providing the infrastructure. It's a cloud computing type of service. So if you see for different fields, there are different CEOs. But the entire Amazon was founded by Jeff Bezos. Okay, he is the main founder of this complete Amazon. And later you will be having the CEOs for the AWS. Okay. So now in 2006, when AWS was introduced, so they started only for their services. Okay. Whatever their company into, so the AWS will be providing the infrastructure to their applications. Okay, like for their e-commerce websites or else if there are any another products that are provided by the Amazon. So the IT solutions are provided by the AWS. And later they got a thought and they have scaled up their entire localities. Okay, so initially AWS was started with three services, that is EC2, S3, and SNS, simple notification services. These are the three services that are, they started with the three services. Okay. Now AWS is having 200 plus services. Okay. AWS is having 200 plus services, including infrastructure. I mean, the servers, EC2 instances. Servers are nothing but the EC2 instances, network configuration, storage, security, and then compliances. And then we are having What else we are having? Artificial intelligence, machine learning, Kubernetes, like developer tools, like that. We are having 200 plus services are available inside the AWS. Now, if they are having these many number of services, they don't want to situate, or else they don't want to locate in a single locality. Okay, so they want to expand across the world. If our business is somewhere like some 1 crore turnover is there for per year, we are going to find out a new branch for our business, right? So there are billions and trillions of turnover is happening for AWS. So why don't they think of going across the global? So that's why AWS went for global. Okay, so when they went for the global, they have recognized certain geographical locations. Okay, and a geographical location where there are data centers. So how they are going to select the locations? Okay, first of all, they will be checking the data centers. So in the entire world, okay, in the entire world, we don't want to create the data center everywhere. Wherever there is a land, we cannot create the data center. If we want to create a data center, definitely you need to check some points. The first one is the what I can say, the land. So how the land is, whether it is perfect soil for creating the data center, or for construction purpose. And the second one is climatic changes. So when you are creating a data center, you need to check the climatic changes. So if I want to create a data center in Hyderabad, Hyderabad is a perfect weather for creating the data center. We don't, like in Hyderabad, there won't be any heavy summer will not be there, and as well as we don't have the heavy winters. So we will have a normal temperature. So that's a perfect location for creating the data centers. And then not only that, if there are certain countries which are more earthquake zoned areas are there, or more cyclone areas are there. Okay, so I don't want to construct my data center over there. So climatic changes we will be looking into. And later what we will, so for a data center, at least we need to have a minimum two substations. Power supply should be from two substations. So the first one is climate, and the second one will be what I can say, the locality, and the third one will be power. Okay, power availability, while power availability ability. Okay, so let it be. Okay, so this is the one, and the next one is, and the fourth one is network connectivity. So definitely we need to have a redundant. So if one network I am getting the internet from the service provider, if that service provider
Sir, excuse me, sir. Your voice is breaking, sir.
uh, is
Hello. Voice is breaking, sir.
am I audible now? Hello, is my
Yeah,
voice
it
is
is.
clear?
Yeah, it is good now.
So we need to check the power availability, and the fourth one will be the network connectivity. So you need to have, if you are creating a data center, you need to check the network connection. Okay, so I need to have multiple internet service providers. If I have an network issue with one service provider, then I need to get the network from the another network service provider. So like that, you need to have a perfect network connection should be there. So this is one of the key factor when you are creating a data center. And the next one is transportation. If there is a problem with your one of the device, so you want to get a new device, or else you want to replace the device, so you need to have a proper transportation in hand. So you cannot check for where the transportation is, how I can go with that. So you should not check all those things. Okay, so it should be very near, it should be accessible. And then it should be more secure zone. I don't need to create my data center in a theft prone zone. So I don't want that. Okay, so I need to check the criminal records of that particular locality also. So if everything goes good, then I will create the data center. So now, once the data center is created, inside the data center, what we are going to create? When we have created this data center, inside the data center, we will be having the servers. Okay. So for example, this is your data center locality. Okay. Inside this data center, we'll have the racks. Okay. So, and all these racks are equipped with the networking devices and as well as the servers. Equipped means all these racks will have the networking devices and the servers. Okay, so this is about the racks. Now, when you see here, there are three types of servers. Three types of servers. So the first one is tower server, and the second one is rack server, and the third one is blade server. Okay, blade server. So these three servers are divided with the help of the form factor. So what is the form factor? Form factor means the size and structure of that particular server. If you see the tower servers will be looking like our normal servers. Okay, just like our computers, whatever you are seeing here. So tower server will be looking like the same. So yeah, there you go. This is how the tower servers will be looking like. Okay, so now let me take this image. This image will consisting of all the type of servers. Okay, here you can see there is a Dell tower server. Okay, and this is the rack server. This is the rack mounted rack server. So here you can see this is how the racks will be looking like inside the data center. There will be multiple racks that are available. Some thousands of racks are available inside the data center. And this is called as a blade. So this is called as a blade server. So if you see the box, whatever the aluminum box that you are seeing here, this is called as chassis. And these are all called as blades. Whatever he is inserting into the chassis, that is called as a blade server. I think it's a 4x4. Okay, total 16 blades are there. Each blade will have its own CPU and RAM. Okay, so this is called as blade server. On the top of that, whatever you are seeing here, this is called as a rack server. And here you can see it's a tower server. And if you go down here, here you can see this is a SAN storage. Okay, these are the SAN storage boxes. And here you can see we are having the network equipment. Okay, the cabling which was done. So you can have the firewalls, you can have the switches, you can have the patch panels. Like that, you are going to have so many number of networking devices that are available inside my data center. Okay, so there will be three types of servers. One is depending on the form factor. One is called as tower server, rack server, and blade server. Now, all these servers where we are installing, okay, or else we are setting up the servers. We are or setting up the servers. Okay, setting up the servers in rack. Okay, so in racks. So here you can say as per the diagram. So this guy is setting up the servers inside the racks. Okay, so like that you will be having multiple racks, and inside the multiple racks you will have the multiple servers. So so here whatever he is showing, this is a single office server room. Okay, in every office, in every physical premises, you will have a server room. So whatever you are seeing here, this is a server room. Actually, the data center will be very, very huge. So now if you see data center. So if you are you able to see this? See there how many servers are there? There are so many racks are there. Inside the racks, you are going to have so many servers. So this is how a data center will be looking like. So if possible, let me check out that. This is the top view, which you can see. The data center will be looking like this. Here you can see there are so many servers are available, so many racks are available, and these racks are provided with a centralized cooling, and all the racks will be equipped with multiple servers, networking devices. So if you can see, there are thousands of racks are there inside the data center. Now, like this, if you are having a data center, a single data center is there. Okay, so what AWS is going to do, AWS will find out a region where there are more number of data centers, and then they are going to select that particular location. And that location is called as a region. Across the world, we are having 33 regions. So what AWS is going to do, AWS, whenever AWS want to create a region, it is going to select a geographical location where you are having the multiple data centers. Suppose some 10 data centers are there nearest to the region, you are having 10 data centers, then that region is perfectly suitable for AWS. So they are going to select it as a region. Like that, we are having US East 1, US East 2, US West 1, US West 2, AP South 1, nothing but Mumbai location, AP South 2, or Hyderabad location. Like that, you are having so many number of regions. Up to 33 regions are available currently. Okay. So now what is meant by a region? A region means a geographical location in which there will be more DCs. Here DC means data centers. Okay. Now what I am trying to explain you here, this is a region. Okay. Inside the region, what I am having here is, in a particular locality, I am having some data center adjacent to each other. So this is one data center. Okay. And then I am having one more data center very near to each other. Okay, like this, you are having all the data centers within 1 kilometer range or 2 kilometers range. Then this is called as an availability zone. Okay, inside a region, definitely you need to have an availability zone. So now what is going to happen? Definitely you need to have the two availability zones. So now there will be another availability zone in another locality. The distance should be maximum of 100 kilometers. So between the availability zones, the distance should be maximum of 100 kilometers. Why? Because I need to have two different availability zones. If you see, within 100 kilometers, there will be more number of climatic changes will be there. For example, let me take a locality in Hyderabad, that is Nanakramgoda, which is very far from the city. That is somewhere like 30 kilometers distance. So there is one more location which is located at Uppal. Okay, so Uppal is also somewhere very far away from the city. So if you see here, so the distance between that first availability zone and second availability zone is more than 50 kilometers. So we need to have an availability zone. Okay, we need to have minimum 2 availability zones per a region, and each availability zone should be isolated with the environment. Okay, with the environment. So the environment which is present in data availability zone 1, the same environment should not be there in the availability zone 2. So we need to take care of that. We need, in the sense, AWS will take care of that. We don't need to worry about that. So here you will have the region. So what is this called as? This might be US East 1, region US East 1, and this is my AZ1, availability zone 1, and this is my AZ2. Okay, and inside this availability zones, I am having inside the availability zones, what I am having the data center. So this is my DC1 in availability zone 1, and DC2 in the another availability zone, and DC3. And if you want, you can have a single data center in an availability zone also. You don't need to have multiple data centers inside an availability zone. You can have a single availability zone also. I mean, single data center in an availability zone also. So this is called as DC1 in that particular availability zone. So why we need to have multiple availability zones? The reason is very simple. So whenever I deployed an application, so I don't need, I cannot select which data center I want to create. Okay, so AWS will not dispose which data center it has taken. Okay, for deploying the resources, AWS will be selected a data center that is not known by us. So, but what they are going to say, we have a region and the region name is Hyderabad. We have a region and the region name is Mumbai. We have a region in America, the region name is North Virginia location. So if you want to create any services, what you can do, you can create the services in those regions. So automatically in the backend, what will be happen? Availability zones will be selected. Okay, so now inside the availability zones, you will have the data center. For example, in Mumbai, we are having Thane. So any people from Mumbai, Maharashtra? Any people from Mumbai? No one. Any people from Mumbai? Why? Because I worked in Mumbai, so I know certain areas. So that's why I'm asking. Any people from Telangana, Hyderabad?
Sir, I am from Telangana, Hyderabad.
Okay, fine. Any people from Chennai, Tamil Nadu? Any people from Karnataka, Bangalore? Why? Because I worked there. So in Mumbai, I worked in Hyderabad, I worked in Chennai, I worked in Bangalore, I worked. So I know certain localities. For example, if you are from Hyderabad, you know about this distance. You are having, for example, you will be having a data center in Gachibowli location, and another data center is in Uppal location. Both are very very far away from each other. One is at the city's starting point, one will be at the ending point, right? So these will be at a particular distance. So those will be considered as a two availability zones. If I have a data center adjacent to each other, so one data center is in Gachibowli and the other data center is at Raidur, so very near 1 kilometers to 2 kilometers distance, then they will be considered as a single availability zone. So definitely whenever you are creating a region, so the region should be having minimum of two availability zones. Why? Because if there is any natural calamity or else any climatic changes occurs in the availability zone one, so the entire availability zone one is down, still I can have my application access from the availability zone two. Okay, so this is the reason why we are going for the AZ1 and AZ2. So if you want to have, you can have more number of availability zones, but minimum two availability zones should be there to call it as a region. Okay, so now what will be there inside the availability zone? Inside the availability zones, you will have the data centers, and inside the data center, you will have the servers, like I have shown you with the previous diagram. And each server are stored inside the racks. So here you can see this is the rack server or blade server or else any tower server also. So now inside these servers, we are going to create the virtual machines. So VMs. So those are nothing but the EC2 instances which we are accessing. So whatever we are accessing right now, those are all the virtual machines. In the AWS perspective, whatever the EC2 instances that we are creating, all are the EC2 instances. Now what is happening here? We have a data center. Inside the data center, we are having the racks, and inside the racks, we are having the servers, and inside the servers, we are going to implement the virtual missions. Each virtual mission will be working for a different application and for a different client. In this fashion, you will have the racks.
Sir, why do we use three types of servers instead of one server?
Depending on the form factor, buddy. Why we are having multiple types of buses? Our destination is only a single destination, no? Then why we want the luxury buses? Why we want the high-tech Volvo buses? Why we want the Volvo V9600 buses? What is the necessity? Our destination is the same, right?
My question is in terms of performance.
That is what.
Okay.
That is how. So let us take an example. If you are using a normal express bus, so what will be the performance? What is your seating capacity? What is your flexibility? What is your free to go in nature? Okay, if you take a sleeper bus, what will be its performance? If you take a multi-axle sleeper bus, then what is the performance? What is the flexibility for you? Okay, in the same manner, if you take a tower server is congested. So it will be useful for a minimum resources. It will be used with a minimum resources. If you go for a rack server, it can be used for a maximum resources like 512 GB, right? That kind of thing. So maximum you will be using the rack servers. If you go with the blade servers, it will be used for the small application in a single blade. Depending on the form factor and depending on our requirement, we are going to select the servers. Okay. You understand the point here?
Yeah, I understand only 2 dimensions. Is there any multiple dimensions to
You check it out in the
differentiate?
internet, please.
Yeah, sure.
Right. I said performance and I said heat dissipation. Okay. You check it out on the internet.
Yeah, sure.
I already worked on the data center, so that's why I'm saying. Anyway, just coming back to the point, this is how. Okay. Where are we? Yeah. This is how the racks will be. Inside the racks, you will have the physical servers. Inside the physical servers, you will have the virtual machines. So whatever the square boxes that you are seeing here, these are all the virtual machines. So VM1, like that you will be, or else I will make as VM. I don't want to create VM1, VM2, VM3. These are all the virtual machines. Simply in AWS terminology, if I have to call it as, it is called as EC2 instance. They are all the virtual machines. Inside the virtual machines, we are going to deploy our applications and run the applications inside them. And these applications can be the containerized applications, or else we can run them as a normal applications. Okay, so this is about your data center, how it is going to look like. And each and every rack is interconnected with each other. So whatever the racks I am showing you and whatever the server that I am showing you, so each and every rack is interconnected with each other. Okay, so we don't need to worry about the networking point of view. So if there is any server which is installed in a single data center, and there is another server which is installed on the same data center only, we don't know. We are not going to have any choice in the AWS to select the data centers. We will have a choice to select the regions and as well as to select the availability zones, but we don't have any choice to select the data centers. And in this server I want to create the instance, so we don't have that choice. Okay, but underlyingly what is going to happen, all the infrastructure, whatever the racks that you are seeing and the servers that you are seeing, all the servers will be interconnected with each other. Okay, so this is how they will be communicating. Okay, so now this data center, so if you go back here, you are having multiple availability zones. Inside the availability zones, each data center will be interconnected with each other. So if one data center is down, still you can get the application from the another data center, and as well as the both availability zones are also interconnected with each other. Even though they are isolated depending on the distance, so they will not be in one location. They will be, one availability zone will be in one location and the other availability zone in the another location also. Still they will be interconnected with the help of network. So if one AZ is down, so if you are running the application in the another availability zone in the another data center, you can have your application and you can access the application. So this is called as your availability zone. So now if you see what we have covered the region and then we have covered the availability zone. What is availability zone? AZ is a group of what I can say, it's a global, or else it's an infrastructure. Availability zone is an infrastructure where it will have one or more data centers, Inside the data centers, we will have the servers, networking devices, storage devices. Okay, storage devices, networking devices, security devices will also come into the picture. So this is called as an availability zone. So now there is one more infrastructure that we need to discuss, that is edge locations. Okay. Now what is this edge location? Okay, before I go into the concept, let me ask you a question. You will be using an application called as Netflix, right? Will you use that application? Will you use the application called as Netflix?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you are using,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Fantastic. Now a new movie is released into the Netflix. Have you ever watched any new movie at the instant it released?
Yeah, yes, sir. It will be
Yes.
added in the
It will be added in that whatever
top
the list,
menu.
whatever the list is there, in there it will be added. Whenever you are first watching that movie, whether the movie will be completely running without any buffer or else there will be any buffer. Do you
You can
understand my
observe.
question?
Yeah, yeah, yes.
So when we are watching a movie, so I'm talking to the first time. So if you are watching the movie so they said that today 12 o'clock the movie will be released. Have you ever tried to watch the movie at exact time? So then what happens means whenever you are watching the movie, there will be a little buffer. Even though you have a high speed internet also, there will be a little buffer. Why? Because let me show you an image so that you will understand this. Edge data centers. Also I'll make it as edge locations. Okay, good. So let me check this one. Okay, let me take this example so that you will understand this very clearly. Actually, where we are deploying our actual server, we are deploying our server in the somewhere like Latin America. Here you can see AWS EC2 instances deployed over here. So there is a customer in India. Okay, there is a customer in India for this application. Now applications are very simple. Why? Because they are in KBC. So I can download the application very simply. But when you are going with the videos, all the way the video has to travel from Latin America or else America, US. Okay, all the way the video has to travel from US and it has to reach to the India location. Okay, so now when it has to reach to the India location, what is going to happen here? So am I audible, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
Okay. When this video has to reach to this particular location, then what is going to happen? So all the way it has to stream. Okay, so all the way the data has to transfer from the America to the India location. So there will be a lag will be there. When the video is getting played, there will be lag. So my customer doesn't want that particular delay in the video playing. So what I will do here is whenever I am trying to access the video, first of all, that video will be stored inside my nearest location. There will be a data center for storing this video, storing this video, or else for storing any audio, or else for storing the images. We will be having the nearest data centers. Those are called as edge locations. Edge locations are also the data centers, but these are used for caching the data. So whatever the videos are there, whatever the image files are there, whatever the songs are there, everything will be cached into my edge locations. So from the edge location, what I can do, I can access from the next time onwards. If I want to access this video, I don't need to go all the way to America. Simply in my nearest edge location, I will have that video content will be available or else image content will be available. Only I need to access the application. For application, I need to send the request to the AWS EC2. I mean, wherever it is located in US or else in North America or South America. But related to the content is downloaded into my edge location. If there is any change in the content, then we need to clear the cache and then we have to download that particular content. So I will explain you in the cloud front, but this is called as an edge location. So edge location is also a data center in which we will be storing the media. Media in the sense videos, audios, image files, GIF files, everything will be stored inside the edge location. So the customer will be easily able to access that particular data. So this is called as edge location. So this is called as your global infrastructure. In the global infrastructure, we are having the regions, we are having the availability zones, and we are having the edge locations. Okay, any questions here? Any questions up to now? Whatever I have discussed, do you understand the concept? Any questions?
No, sir.
Everyone, Abhishek, Dinesh, Shiva. And then Sunil, Srinath, Vignesh. Okay. So this is about the global infrastructure of our AWS environment. So from Monday onwards, we are going to start the networking concept. So you tell me one thing. Okay, actually, I will start with the networking concept, that is VPC. Can I go with the VPC or else can I start with the IAM? How I can start the session? Actually, I won't ask this question to any of my batches. I will start with the VPC. Any which ways, what is your thought on this? Did anybody work with the AWS environment here? I mean, sir, if we work, why we will join into the course? There will be a person who will be working with that, but they don't have that understanding about the AWS. That's why I'm asking. IAM is completely a theoretical concept, guys. VPC is completely a practical concept. Okay. Any which ways, my planning is to go with the VPC. If I have to start the VPC, I need to make sure that you understand the networking concept. Any which ways, we will be discussing about the networking concept. So my thought process is going to, I want to start with the VPC. What is your thought process?
Meanwhile, we can also create that AWS account also, sir.
Yeah, you can create it. Okay,
Yeah,
but this time there is a lot of changes are there. They want the PAN card also. I don't know why they are asking the PAN card. Yeah, please look after that once. Okay. If possible, I will try to explain you. I will try to make you create your own AWS account in the Monday session, not in this session. Okay. So please be ready with your Visa cards, Master cards, whatever the debit cards that you are having. So most effectively, I want a Visa or MasterCards, not the RuPay cards. RuPay cards, we have some certain failures are there. So if you want to create an AWS account, go with the Master and Visa cards. If you are having the credit cards and debit cards, that's fine. Okay. I don't recommend the RuPay cards. 2 rupees will be deducted and that 2 rupees will be refunded within 48 hours. Okay.
okay.
So that's it, guys. That's it from my end. So if you have anything else you want to ask me, you can ask me. I already said you about the timings. Let me give you back the timings. The timings will be 8:30 in the morning to 8:30 in the morning. From Monday onwards, your session will start at 8:30 a.m. and it might be prolonged to 10 a.m. I am not very sure whether it will be prolonged or not, but yes, it will be prolonged up to 10 a.m. Sometimes I can complete the session by 9 o'clock, or else sometimes it might be prolonged to 10 a.m. This is the first thing. And the second thing will be number of days, 45 to 50 working days. Please keep this in mind. I'm talking 45 to 50 working days. Plus or minus, you can do plus or minus 5 days. Okay. And the next one is you will get the videos and documentation. Monday to Friday, you will have the sessions. Okay, Monday to Friday, you will have the sessions. Sometimes we'll keep the weekend sessions also. Whenever we are going for a weekend session, I'll definitely update you in the mid of the week. Okay, this week you will have the weekend session, like that kind of thing. What else I am missing, guys? That's it. That is what I want to tell you. If you have any further questions, if you want to ask me, you can ask me now. Last 5 to 10 minutes, it's totally for your questionnaire. Go on. Yes, please. No questions. Everything is clear. Okay, that's interesting. Fine then. Okay, guys, we'll meet on Monday. We'll discuss about the rest of the concepts on Monday. So from Monday onwards, the sessions won't be this much simple. From Monday onward, the sessions are a little bit faster and a little bit what I can say, it will be prolonged also. Okay, like 45 minutes. I am not going to complete the batch within 45 minutes to or else 40 to 45 minutes. From Monday onwards, it will be like 1.5 hour of sessions. Okay, have a nice day and
Yeah.
have a nice weekend, and we will meet in the Monday session. Bye bye. And from Monday onwards, the free sessions are closed. Okay, we are not going to have any demos. From Monday onwards, the link is going to be changed. Whoever has paid the fees, they will get the paid link from the DURGASOFT. So through that link only, you will be able to log in into my sessions. So just for an it's just a note point that I am saying you. Okay. Thank you all. Have a nice day. Have a nice weekend, and we'll meet on Monday 8:30 a.m. Bye bye.